Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Parshas Teruma, and we're the first Shabbos of the month of Adar. Just a short word. Based on the Sikha we learned this morning, an amazing Fabrengen Vart and a very deep concept that Rebbe explained from the year 1991, Tafshin Nun Aleph. That the Rebbe says, ask the question, what does it mean, B'shenichnas Adar, when Adar comes in, Marbim b'simcha, we add in simcha. We know that it says, even though it's Hashem b'simcha, a person has to serve Hashem always with simcha. And it's brought down Tachas that because you didn't serve Hashem b'simcha, that's why things happen. And like the Alter Rebbe says, that simcha, if you infuse simcha in your avodah, then even negative things that it could be that you deserve don't happen. And we know that the emphasis we learned many times in the Memorim, that the idea is avodah, that the avodah it's an avodah, it's a service, it's a challenge, it's a toil to find a way to infuse simcha, but one must infuse simcha in everything that we do. So what is this idea that marbim b'simcha, we add in simcha? We have to do simcha all the time. And if we want to say, based on the teaching that Rashi tells us, that what's special about Adar, because it's the month of miracles, the miracles of Rashi says of Pesach and Purim, that the Rebbe discusses why is Pesach part of the conversation here, but that there's the miracles that happened in Hapachu, the idea of the story of the Megillah. So it's not that we're marbim, we're adding in simcha. We have to do simcha all the year because that's our avodah. And there's a new addition, a new reason in the month of Adar that we do simcha because of the miracle. But it's nothing to do really, it's an addition, it's something separate. What's this idea of adding in simcha? And the Rebbe gives an amazing explanation here, and then also adds why we mention Pesach in the conversation. When it's talking about the month of Adar, Pesach is the month of Nisan. The miracle of Chanukah, of Purim, was a miracle that was within the laws of nature. The story happens, Haman loses favor by Achashverosh. He's overreaching, too powerful. Esther completes for her people. Achashverosh has a change of heart and he goes with Esther and kills Haman. A person could say, this is politics, this is normal. It's within the laws of nature. It could happen. Yesterday, Haman was finding favor in Achashverosh's eyes. Today, things have changed. But nevertheless, within the laws of nature, within the story, there's a miracle. It was a miracle that Hashem made it happen that way. And the vart was that the Jewish people recognized that. We say that the Jewish people recommitted to Torah mitzvahs after the story of Purim. Why? Because they chose, at that moment, they chose to see the miracle that could have been read as a regular situation. They saw the miracles in their life. They saw that it was Hashem's hand that changed, that even though Achashverosh is still the king and things are still the way they were before, but nevertheless, within the system of nature, the Jewish people found the salvation. And that's why we say that Mishenichnas Adar, when Adar comes in, Marbim b'simcha. We have so many miracles in our life that happens all the time. And we have to serve Hashem all the time with simcha. When it comes to the month of Adar, we take from the power of the commitment the Jewish people made in the story of Mordechai and Esther, that they chose to see the miracles, they chose to see the Yad Hashem, they chose to see that within nature itself, how Hashem operates and controls the world, that Achashverosh himself, who gave the decree, nullified the decree, and made the Jewish people, Mordechai the second in command, gave the house of Haman to Mordechai and Esther, that they chose to see the miracle within their lives, that when we come to the month of Adar, and we have so many miracles that are happening all the time in our life, and we always have to do the simcha, but we're marbim the simcha, we add in simcha, we add in the realization of the brachas and the miracles that are happening day to day in our life, and we appreciate it and we see them for what they are. They're not natural events, they're miracles, and even though sometimes things may not look like that, but there's a greater picture that things could change. Sometimes you don't know, it's a health situation, something else could happen, but there's nevertheless, the Eibishter runs the world, and no matter how things may seem, Hashem can make things work out the way He wants it to be. And the realization of that is every single day we wake up in the month of Adar and we have more simcha. And I want to add an idea that the Rebbe says that when there's 60 days of Adar, we have 60 days of simcha. So when we have 30 days of Adar, we can't say that we only have half the simcha. Because if Adar contains within it 60 measurements of simcha, so what we can accomplish in 60 days, we have to be able to accomplish in 30 days. Like a person takes 2 steps at a time. We see this actually in the Rebbe's Hayom Yom, that if we have a Adar that's only 1 month, we read 2 Hayom Yoms, because we could take 2 steps at a time. So we should take 2 steps every day to realize and reappreciate, and because of that, to have a conclusion of more and more happiness of the situation that we live in, the simcha that we have on a day-to-day basis, and be zoichet to have the true simcha of Mashiach, the Gula Mitzvah Shlema, the Goyal Mamish, this week, this year, for Purim. Good Shabbos.